People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. If you had any sorts of doubt that Jamaica is the devil's playground, if you thought that by these government officials getting a hike, 200% pay raise, they claim that with the better pay raise, we're going to see better results in our economy, in our safety, meaning better policing. Do you realize that nothing has changed, and even if it has changed significantly for the worse? The more that things change is the more that they remain the same. I am going to give you two perfect examples of why your kids, yourself, you and I, everybody in Jamaica, we are not safe, especially the elder, more specifically. In this case, the children. I am going to give you two stories, one that happened maybe about 24 hours ago and one that happened back in 2018, and why they cannot protect the children, and even when they get the people that do them harm, they cannot hold them in any sorts of institution, penal institution, the big yard that is. About 24 hours ago in Brighton, an 8-year-old second grader, she was taken from the school, Brighton Primary School. She was ABDUCT3D. Somebody tried to take her away by busting her throat. This little child was found on Roosevelt Avenue, that is in St. Andrews South. Some sorts of motorists saw her walking, stumbling. When he investigated, him realized that she was wounded, the throat pretty much BUSS. He then rushed that child to the Bustamante Children's Hospital, and she is doing surgery. Now, people, you have to ask the question when you see stuff like this. What could have possessed, what could be the possible motive for somebody doing this to a little child? You have to ask, is this some sort of parent, meaning father? Him and the mother are no longer in any sort of relationship, so therefore he is being vindictive. Could this be some of those possible PSYCHO that are roaming around Jamaica looking for children to commit any sorts of HARM to them? People, me no know. However, one thing that I know is that sometimes I am driving around, I pass these schools, and I see little children, 7, 8, 6-year-old, I walk home by themselves. Sometimes they cannot even cross the road properly. We've seen many instances in which we hear that cars lick them down, them DEAD, them hurt. However, I don't know if it is that these parents are busy, they are preoccupied, and I understand a lot of times these parents, single mother, single father, so therefore them have to make the picnic them pretty much be on their own. However, people, that is always your priority. However, it is hard for me to say because I don't know person's circumstances. So anyways, whatever the circumstances are, we hope that the Popo can get to the bottom of this. We hope that the Popo will do a proper investigation. We hope that whoever is responsible for doing this to this little child gets the full brunt of the law. Whether it is a family member, a father, a mother, or whether it is just some random PSYCHO, evilous demonic force or person that is out there. I hope the Popo find them and put one in their head, right in the center, smack in the center, like some sorts of coolie that. Point blank and period. So that was the first case. That case proves that our children are not safe in the homes, in the school. I am going to show you that we've always had reasons for concern, and even though the situation is getting significantly worse. I am going to tell you about a case that occurred in about October of 2018, wherein a girl that was 14 at the time, her name is Raven Wilson. She attended a high school in a St. Ann, Top Road she's from. It is said that she went missing for about 2 days. They found her on the 22nd of October 2018. When they found her, she was wrapped up in some sorts of sheet, some sorts of bag, and her throat was also bust up. She was left for DEAD. A couple of days after, they found 2 youths that were charged officially. They were 15 at the time. At that time in 2018, one of them was charged for the takeaway. I guess he was the more dangerous little youth. The next one was given a lesser charge, and he was supposed to be the state witness, give state evidence against his little thieving friend. Back then, the mother, the whole community was in mourning, because they must say, then who or why would these 2 suspects take away a sweet little child like this? She has not done anybody any sorts of harm. So therefore, the mother was in serious mourning. The mother was hoping, the whole community was hoping, they had their fingers crossed, saying that yes, this sounds like a slam dunk case. This supposed to be an easy conviction, like 1, 2, 3. Because you have 2 suspects. One of the suspects that was there, he is going to testify against the next one. So therefore, there would be no sorts of way under Master God earth that these 2 people would walk free. You would get some sorts of justice. However, people, I am here to tell you the bad news. The case went the polar opposite. The worst thing that could have been done for justice to be served was done in courts. Pretty much, the youth that was supposed to be the state witness, him change of him sworn testimony, his sworn statement, he started to say the polar opposites. Now, you don't have to be any sorts of Perry Mason or any sorts of Matlock, or even watch one series of People's Court to know that whenever the key witness changes, do a sort of switcheroo and start to say something that is opposite to what he said initially, the judge is going to say, hold on a minute, break up for a while. This youth has no sort of credibility. I have zero choice other than to just dismiss throughout the whole case. I am not going to make this youth be guilty, even though I know within myself, without a shadow of a doubt, that he is guilty. Him and him friend take with this little pitney. Because me know, say, when it comes to appeal, he is going to beat it. I am not going to put my credibility on the line, my career on the line, even though me know, say, them 2 youth are guilty as sin. Because I know what the result is going to be. You could have the worst lawyer upon planet Earth and you could beat this on appeal. Simply, once the testimony, the statement changed and it is opposite from the initial original statement, that is more than reason for dismissal or fling out. And people, that is exactly what the judge did. I am going to let you take a listen, take a look to what the mother has to say. Her name is Miss Morgan, I think. Don't quote me on the name. Take a listen to what the mother has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
I can't tell you, when me hear that, it's like me just walk out of the courthouse, my head does zone right out. You know, if you sit down in the courthouse, and you hear all of that, and next after, the guy will give all of that, next him just change it. And next after no verdict. Oh my God, come on. Me don't know how me a Reverend mother. Me don't know how one other mother would feel. But me know say all of the parents them supposed to feel the way how me feel. Because this is not nice. Me just afraid for the rest of the kids them out there where things like this are gonna happen to them. I will never get no justice. Because me take it to the justice system. And guess what? And they fail me. Me look on the other penny them. Me not have none. Me not have none. Me not have none. How you think me feel? Me look at Reverend friend them and everything. Shana.
Now people, can you just imagine you as a mother lost your little girl, your child, 4 to 5 years ago? You went through all sorts of trauma, all sorts of stress. You had one little hope. The hope is that at least it won't bring her back, but at least I know that the people that are responsible are no longer going to harm anybody else. I am going to feel some sorts of vindication, some sorts of justice with getting just a simple conviction that was supposed to have been some sorts of slam dunk case. You hear the lady say, she feel as if the daughter lose her life again. She felt as if she got hit with some sorts of sledgehammer in her head. She could not believe what she saw because within herself and everybody else in the community of Top Hill, they knew that these two people were going down without a shadow of a doubt. The lady tell you, she don't have a daughter and she don't have any sorts of justice. So therefore, where do she turn? Because the justice system has failed her. Now people, a next lady was also asked. I want you to listen what this lady has to say. Had it been her and any one of her 8 children had lost their life just like that. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
I am a mother of 8 girls. And if what happened to Raven 5 years ago should happen to one of my girls, I wouldn't really rely on the justice system, you know. Would I just do what me want to do and just go confess it to God, because alright, that's right there.
Now people, you hear what this lady had to say. If you did a survey and asked 100 persons in a Jamaica if that was you, that was your daughter and did not get any sorts of justice, if you felt as if the system failed you, would you take justice in your own hand? I think that more than 75% of the people would say that they would. I think that some people who are Christian, some people that think and still have any sorts of faith in the justice system, which would have been a minority, 25% or so, and people, this is not scientific, it is just my opinion. I think that majority would say that they would take justice in their own hands. And people, you cannot blame them. I am not going to say that you're going to take justice in your hand for just any sorts of petty stuff. However, people, this is your child. Instincts would kick in right away. You would make decisions that are abnormal, not the norm. So therefore, you might flip your chip. You might lick your chip like them say. Now people, when we think about stuff like this is what we call system failure, and that is why I said initially at the start of this video. The system cannot protect you from being harmed, cannot protect you from losing your life. And even when they get a case that is a slam dunk case, that more than likely there is no possibility of losing this case, it turns out to be an epic failure, and people, it is a failure in this case. Now people, like me say, sometimes these youths at the time when them catch them, they were 15 at the time. They were locked up in some sorts of institution, I think. Maybe they were out on bail, knowing the system. Me no know, but more than likely they were locked up. The institution that they went in, more than likely, is not any sorts of institution for rehabilitation that is going to make these youth remorseful and think the right thing. Listen, me need to make sure, say, this my partner, my crony, me testify like I said I was. However, people, they went to these fine institutions and them they run nothing but criminals. So therefore, they went in as a bad criminal and come out as a worse criminal. More than likely, the inmates in those institutions influence their thinking, their decision, and tell them, say, then brother, you know, say, if you want your friend beat the case, all you have to do is go in a court and tell peer lie that half it dash out. And people, in my opinion, that is exactly what happened. And in this case, that is the case. This is what we call system failure. And this is why you hear a lot of people say, that is why crime cannot be over, because persons are always going to want some sorts of justice, whether it is reprisal. If the system fail you, you might have to take it up in your own hand. And people, I am not recommending it. I am just saying that is exactly what some people or most persons are thinking. When it comes to the justice system in Jamaica, it is no justice, especially if you are poor. It seems as if we always get the SHITTYN off the stick, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.